Burke-class guided missile destroyer, USS Dewey DDG 105, tests the Phalanx close-in weapons system near the South China Sea. Dewey, assigned to the WASP Expeditionary Strike Group, is on a scheduled deployment in the Indo-Pacific region to support training under the U.S. Pacific Fleet's upgunned ESG.
The USS Dewey brings the speed and agility and flexibility to the ESG. We have the capability of conducting strike missions in support of moving Marines to the beach. This is a multi-warship capable ship. We have the Aegis weapon system. The primary sensor is a spy radar. Great opportunity to provide surveillance and detection for our Marine brothers. We also have a hull-mounted sonar, so when we're operating in the littorals to hunt for submarines, along with our MH-60 Romeo helicopter that's on board. We have two of those as well to assist us in providing that surface surveillance, protection, and also anti-submarine warfare capability as well. Multiple small arms, crew-served weapons. We have the close-in weapon system, and also our 5-inch gun for surface and air engagements as well. So what we bring to the fight is an armament that can protect Marines going ashore in a moment's notice. For the other sailors operating the strike group, and include mine, this is a great opportunity for all of us. The Navy is continuing to develop and change and stay at the tip of the spear. And this is a great opportunity for us to bring the Marine Corps side and the Navy side together, especially with adding destroyers to the strike group to continue to flex our capability and improve and continue to be successful as a Navy.
For the next few months, we'll be operating at sea with the WASP Amphibious Readiness Group, and attached are destroyers, USS Dewey being one of them. We're also adding F-35Bs. Together, we're called an upgunned ESG, where we bring extra capability to the warfighting element of what we're doing here in theater. So what is Dewey bringing to the equation that we didn't have before? The ability to strike inland targets, the ability to conduct robust air defense using the Aegis radar system, the ability to use this gun behind me and engage targets both at sea and ashore, the ability to hunt and find submarines. These are capabilities that aren't normally part of an amphibious readiness group, but they are now. When Dewey's at sea, they bring their main battery, the 300+ sailors that are on this ship. This is our #1 advantage. When Dewey joins the amphibious readiness group, we will immediately become more capable. We'll be able to strike targets inland, we'll be able to find submarines, we'll be able to defend the force much more vibrantly. And when you put F-35Bs on top of that, you can see that we're going to be a much more capable force with significantly more options. And that's what we're bringing to the table. Dewey and this great crew is now part of the Expeditionary Strike Group family, and we have one primary goal: to set the pace for the entire United States Navy on what right looks like, starting with safe operations at sea.
Beijing lays claim to a vast U-shaped line of jurisdiction in the South China Sea, known as the Nine-Dash Line, which includes several disputed islands and fishing grounds. Oil and gas reserves are also thought to exist beneath the seabed. China is building artificial islands on coral reefs, some of which are being turned into military bases. The Hague Tribunal ruled Tuesday that Beijing had violated the sovereignty of the Philippines, which brought the claim to the court.
I think nothing is for certain. It is dangerous there. It looks like they won't really give it up. China is very difficult.
For weeks, China has pumped out propaganda criticizing the court and questioning its jurisdiction. Minutes after the ruling, Beijing's Ministry of Foreign Affairs said the decision, known as an award, was null and void.
The so-called arbitral tribunal was based on the illegal action and the claim of the Philippines from the very onset, so its very existence is not legitimate. Then all the awards it produces will be in vain and invalid.
But Beijing is a signatory to the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, under which Manila lodged its complaint.
There will be a furious debate taking place inside the corridors of power in Beijing between people looking for a more progressive approach on China's part when it comes to participation in the international legal order and those who believe and will be forcefully arguing that might is right.
China has been displaying that might, carrying out exercises near the disputed Paracel Islands and even planting a flag on the South China seabed. Chinese vessels have repeatedly clashed with Filipino fishermen around the disputed Scarborough Shoal. Other nations, including Vietnam, Malaysia and Taiwan, also say China is violating their sovereignty.
You will no doubt have international lawyers from all of these other countries furiously poring over the text from the award from the arbitral tribunal today to consider what kind of arguments may lie in there for the claims of their own states in their maritime disputes with China. But those kinds of considerations will then come to be balanced by political views.
US warships have continued to sail through the disputed waters, angering Beijing.
China has long accused Washington of taking sides, and Chinese President Xi Jinping has called for more mutual trust.
China and the US need to increase communication and cooperation over Asia-Pacific affairs. The vast Pacific should be a stage for inclusive cooperation, not an arena for competition.
I don't think that the ruling is going to stop or necessarily even slow China's activity, land reclamation, construction, and militarization. But I think there is a possibility that parts of the ruling, even though China will reject it, that maybe will come into compliance quietly.
For example, Glasser says China may stop interfering with fishing activities in the waters. While she sees no narrowing in the differences between Washington and Beijing, she says it is helpful to talk.